Good morning, everyone. I have my coffee. Really need it this morning. I feel like I'm saying that a lot lately, but I really, really do. I hope that you have your coffee or tea or water or whatever or juice maybe, whatever you'd like to drink this morning. So, I don't even know where to begin, I guess, today. um, I guess today's theme is going to be kind of what's going on with me right now, what's going to be going on with the blog this fall, and some prayer stuff at the end, which is to say that's how I'm going to be dealing with all of this um, and managing. So, as I'm sure you could tell from my post yesterday, it has been a really stressful week, and I've just been doing my very best to try and, just settle my thoughts a little bit. But the semester begins on Monday, and I think I'm not going to really sleep well until after that day comes and goes. For me, it has always been the anticipation of something that I guess I'm going to use the word dreading. I'm just going to be honest and keep it real. I'm dreading it a little bit. And when I'm dreading something and it's still out in the future, it just consumes my thoughts, and I have a difficult time thinking about anything else or sleeping or really kind of relaxing until after that point. Now, the bad news here is that the semester is not just a one-day event, right? Like if in the past, if I was worried about like a test or something that I had to take, that day comes and goes fairly quickly. This is going to be a marathon. This is the long haul. That's where the prayer comes into play that we're going to talk about in a minute. Because obviously I need to remain strong for a long period of time emotionally. Um, so, but I do think that it'll get a little bit better once the full unknown is no longer so much of a mystery. So once I, get the first week, especially the first 2 weeks, because the first week of class is just not really a real class, if you will. It's just an introduction, how you doing, pass out the syllabus, or actually show the syllabus up on the big screen because I'm not bringing print copies of the syllabus in today's day and age. So, it's a very short little ditty. But the second week will be the first week of content. Once I have those 2 weeks under my belt, I think that I'll have a better handle on things. And then we also get a little break because our class is a hybrid. So the majority of the sessions are traditional in person, but there are some online modules that we won't be in the classroom teaching those weeks. So it does give us a little reprieve because the content is already created. So weeks 3 and 4 are both online. Let's have the Alleluia chorus strike up. That'll be a nice break towards the end of September. October is going to be lengthy, but that's okay. We're going to get there one step at a time. But I'm just focusing on the first 2 weeks right now, and then I'll have a little time to kind of regroup and prepare for that long stretch, maybe get a little bit of writing done, and I think that'll make me feel better. So that's kind of where we're at right now. And it's a lot of change. It's a lot of change in a direction that, although my life has been slowly moving in this direction for some time now in terms of teaching and being up in front of people, teaching is a form of performance. And I do that in several arenas of my life. As you know, I'm a dancer and I do perform sometimes. Excuse me. So that kind of it fits, it's all kind of come together. But here's the thing. It takes a lot out of me. It is very draining. And so with 3 classes a day, I know for K-12 teachers, that's no big deal. They do more than that all the time. But it's a little bit different, I guess, just from my perspective, if you will. I'm just not used to teaching that much. So I will become used to it. But for the time being, it's still going to be a transition. And so it's just going to be, you're going to be on a lot. And so it'll take a little getting used to. I'm just feeling very apprehensive, and I haven't been sleeping well, which is very unlike me. Mike and I are very opposite in this way. He is one of those poor, unfortunate souls that just genetically is not predisposed to sleeping well. He's easily awakened, has a very difficult time going back to sleep. Me, unless I'm pregnant, not a problem. I sleep like the dead. and I will like turn over or something in the night, but I am back to sleep within a minute. And so me having a hard time sleeping is very unusual. So, I'm just sorting it out as best I can, but I feel I just feel kind of heavy, emotionally heavy right now. Like there's just a lot on my mind, and I can't control all of the things that I'm worried about. And I just have to accept that. So I'm doing the best that I can. So ways that I'm trying to do the best that I can. And then we're going to circle back to the blog for the fall. A couple things. Exercise is very important for me. And I mentioned back in January that I had a New Year's resolution to try to work in more different types of fitness into my routine. I like to walk, I have a dance class every week, but I wanted to try to do a little bit more. And I have kept up with that. So since January, I have been taking 1 to 2 fitness classes per week, mostly via the group fitness arrangement here at the university that I work at, and I have loved it. It's very inexpensive to get a pass for the full semester, and you have this large plethora of classes to choose from, and you can go to any of them that you want, unlimited a number of times. So in the spring, I took Zumba and Payo, a Pilates yoga mix. I did take one just yoga straight class as well, which I didn't like as well. I prefer the yoga mixes, I guess. And this summer I took Pilates and then a bar class, which is a combination of ballet bar and yoga. It's a little Pilates in there too, but mostly it's yoga and the bar. So really enjoyed that. And I also took HipFit at my dance studio, which is a dance-based workout class, and I loved it. I loved it. So I just got the email that the new fall schedule is up, and I knew it was going to be challenging to fit in a class or so with my teaching schedule. But I'm teaching in the mornings. I'm just like, sorry, I'm like, if you're watching the video, I'm like all itchy. I keep like having things going on here on my face because it's allergy season, weed pollen. So fitness. Trying to keep my train of thought. So yes, I want to take 1 to 2. My dance classes are always Friday evenings, so I can always make those, but I wanted to fit in things during the day, and I'm teaching in the mornings and I'm teaching in the later part of the afternoons between 2 and 4. So I needed things like at the lunchtime. And we just got the schedule. Pilates is Mondays at noon, and I'm definitely going to do that. It's the same instructor. I really liked her. So I'll be taking that. The other days, I'm not really sure. That might be the only one that I can take. I think on Wednesday there's a class called Body Sculpt. I've never taken that. I believe that's what the hand weights in the fitness room are for. I could check that out. So if I wanted, I could do 2, but I could definitely do 1. And as long as I have that 1 in addition to the dance class, I'm good. But if I'm really feeling the need, I can also do the Body Sculpt to check that out. So that is a really healthy outlet for me to keep my stress level down and just let out some of the anxiety that I have. And I've been really enjoying that. And I think that it's an important thing mentally as well as physically. I am genetically, unfortunately, predisposed to having high cholesterol. And it's nothing that I'm eating. I don't have any other risk factors. It's just my genetics. It runs in my family. And so every time I'm at the doctor every year and she has the blood panel done just for my regular checkup, she's like, you have much higher cholesterol than I would expect, just based upon everything else that she knows about me. And I know that adding in exercise really helps to reduce your bad cholesterol level. And I have worked over the past year and a half or so to eat more foods that are high in good cholesterol, like avocado and nuts and things like that, healthy fats. And last year I remember her saying, she's like, oh wow, your good cholesterol is really good. it's gone up. So yeah, so I've been working for those reasons. I want to, for the long term, if you start thinking about your health more, I want to keep that cholesterol at a good number, and the exercise really helps. And I just know that my mental equilibrium really benefits from having that. So I'm going to make sure that I do that every week. It's good that I'm able to do that. So I'm going to get the pass today. The other thing that I'm going to be working on is prayer. And I wouldn't say that my prayer life has felt dry, but it has just felt awkward or something. I just feel like my mind is so distracted. It's very difficult for me to concentrate, and I feel like I'm just phoning it in, and I don't like that. So what am I going to try? I'd like to get to confession. That always helps. And it's been a month or so since I've gone, a little over, I think. So that would be good. And I think I can still go to the time slot on late Tuesday afternoons. I believe I've got to see when my class wraps up. I think it wraps up at 3:20. And so I could still make it to the 4 to 4:30 confession slot at Henry's School Parish. Well, it'll be Anne's School Parish too. And I'll try that. But I really want to try like a daily thing. Lately, what I've been doing, I have felt difficulty in praying the rosary. The rosary always brings me a lot of comfort, but I'm just having such a hard time concentrating that in the mornings on the way in, I've been grabbing a rosary. This rosary lives in my office for the time being, but as you can see, it's fall colors. Oh, and it has a St. Cecilia centerpiece, and she's my confirmation patron, one of my faves. And I've been using my rosary beads to pray a Divine Mercy chaplet. So that has been good because the prayers are very short and my attention span is really short right now, and that has been the perfect prayer for my morning commute. So that's been helping. I'm just going to keep doing that while it's working until I feel the need to switch back over to the rosary. I'm going to be needing to get up very early in the morning coming up here, earlier than I'm used to. And so I've just been thinking like, oh, it would be nice if I had a devotional or something. Well, I've got the Magnificat. I've been thinking again about sacred reading. I've talked about that before. I'll put a link to that in the notes because I see that the new one, they start with the new liturgical year, so it starts with Advent. So the new one will be starting in a couple of months. But I have the 2016 one, so I could, see if I could get, because I really love that. I was using that back in the late winter, early spring, and I just haven't used it lately. But it's got the daily gospel reading in it and some short reflections. So I was thinking about trying that, and I got an email from this company called Living with Christ, and I've ordered missals from them in the past for the kids. They have a children's missal, and Henry likes the adult one that they have. And I put in a pre-order for those again this year for when they come out in October for the 2017, but now I'm on their email list. And they sent me a message about a 2017 prayer journal, so it wouldn't start until Advent. But it looks very intriguing, and I'm going to put a link in the show notes. Let me know if you're also intrigued. It's not very expensive, I think $8.95. And it has, I believe, the Daily Gospel. But other spots for your own reflections and sort of talking points to get you started on what you'd like to write. I need to look at it in some more detail, but it really piqued my curiosity. So I'm just trying to think of little ways that I can incorporate into my morning to just make my days a little brighter, because I think it's just going to be a little bit of a grind. So that's what I've got right now. If you have any advice just dealing with lots of things all at the same time, I would love to hear it. I really need that right now. And so whatever you can offer in the comments, words of wisdom and ideas and suggestions, things you're going to be trying this fall as our busy season wraps up, I would love to hear. So, okay, this fall, I am going to be busy, but I am very, very dedicated to my writing, and this is a very healthy outlet for me. But I have come to terms with the fact that I need to be realistic about what I can do without stressing myself out. So I did a lot of soul searching, and what I came up with is that I very much want to continue blogging in the same way that you're used to. I think that that works for both of us. However, my schedule is going to be as follows, just to make it a little bit easier on myself for the fall, because things are going to change as time goes on. But for now, this is what we got. Mondays are not going to be good for me to have any writing time, because I'll have Pilates in my lunchtime, which is important for the reasons we talked about. Tuesday or Wednesday, you will expect and receive a longer post like you're used to from me. I love writing those lifey posts, I call them, just about different amusing things going on with me. And having it just be one of those per week gives me the ability to say start on Tuesday and finish on Wednesday. And so therefore I don't have to be stressed out about starting and finishing a post in one day if I get really, really busy in my free slot. Because in addition to the teaching, I'm going to have, students needing to meet with me. I'm going to have grading to do, so I just know myself, and I get worried about things way too easily. And so just knowing, okay, I can just get this started and then finish it up tomorrow makes it very manageable for me. So Tuesday or Wednesday, we will have our chatty time in written form, and then Thursday or Friday will be our tea time. I really, really enjoy these posts, this podcast. It really isn't any shorter for me in the way that I thought it was going to be way back when I started tea time last year. It's shorter for me to just sit here and talk to you for 15 minutes than to write a blog post. However, I need to do all the post-production stuff. So I need to do the audio editing and, excuse me, my throat is just, everything's affected by the allergies right now. I need to store the file, in my little place where then you can hear it. And I need to put together the blog post with the show notes and add all the images and all of the, the links and all the stuff that I need to do there and upload the video and blah, 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 all that stuff. And that all takes each step doesn't take a lot of time, but it all adds up to about the same as if I wrote a blog post. But I really, really enjoy doing this. And talking in this way is a different, healthy outlet for me than the writing. And I'd like both. So I hope that is going to work for you as well. So that's going to be every week. A post and a podcast. And I'll still be doing my monthly podcast with Christina. It'll definitely just be once a month. We won't be able to do any additional stuff for the fall. But that's okay. I think that what we have is working and we're kind of building. And so we're gonna try this. And I think that it's gonna work out just fine. But why don't you let me know what you think? If you have any suggestions for me, anything that you would like me to write about or talk about going into the fall, I'm sure you can expect lots of amusing teaching anecdotes and different things with dance and things going on with my family and the things I always write about, books that'll come into play too. So there you have it. You have anything going on? Any suggestions for me? I'd love to hear it. I'll be talking to you next week. That'll be my first week of class, so we'll have lots to talk about, and I'll look forward to it. In the meantime, have a great weekend. See you soon. Bye.